Hello students, I welcome you all at Grade B. As you know that we are covering agriculture and rural development static part in this series. So today we are going to discuss this animal husbandry and poultry. I think you all are aware with your syllabus. So today we are discuss this part of your syllabus and it will cover your whole animal and husbandry poultry section of your syllabus. We are covering this farm animal and their role in the economy, animal husbandry methods, commonly used terminologies pertaining to the different species of livestock, utility classification of breeds of the cattle, introduction to common fodder feeds and their utility and classification, introduction to the industry of poultry in India, common terms pertaining to the poultry production and management, socio-economic implication of mixed farming on the farmer in India and the concept of mixed farming, livestock and poultry production and their obligatory and complementary relationship with the agriculture farming. We will cover this whole part of your syllabus in two parts, that is first part and second part. Now today we will discuss only first part. So our first part of your syllabus is farm animal and their role in the Indian economy. Friends, we all are aware that what types of role is played by the livestock in our national economy. You will able to understand that what types of livestock system is working in our country and what is the role of this livestock production in the Indian economy. You can have what types of employment and how much of employment you are getting from this livestock sectors. What is the contribution in Indian economy? What is the rank? What is the production? How they are ensuring food security of our country? So we will see all this point in this lecture. First of all, this data, you should remember that India is the largest producer of milk and it make up the 23% of the world's milk annually. India ranks number 1 in cattle and buffalo production. India is the largest producer of buffalo meat. India is the largest exporter of the sheep and goat meat. It is the second largest producer of the goat meat. India is the second biggest exporter of the poultry product, and India ranks third globally in production of the eggs. So these ranks itself decide that India is basically an agriculture dependent country, but besides this agriculture sector, this allied sector of agriculture, that is livestock in agriculture, is playing a major role in our economy, in growth of country's economy. How? If you will see, I have taken this data from the various reliable sources like annual report of agriculture and this economic survey. Recently government has launched this economic survey. You will see that livestock sector is an important subsector of agriculture and it is growing at a CAGR of 8.15% during this 2014 and 15 to 2019 and 20 at constant price. If you will see, as per the National Account Statistic 2020, it shows that agriculture and allied sector and their contribution and the contribution of the livestock in total agriculture and allied sector has increased from this 24.3% to 29.35% in 2019 and 20. If you will see that in whole GVA, this sector alone contribute 4.35% in 2019 and 20. It also, development of the livestock sector has led to the improvement in per capita availability of the milk, eggs and meat. So what he is doing? It is ensuring our food security. As the production of this milk, eggs and meat will increase, our food security or resilient to food security and strength to food security will increase. If you will see this dairy sector, it is also the part of this livestock sector, sector's contribution. Then dairy is the single largest agriculture commodity It is contributing 5% of the national economy and employing more than 8 crores of farmers directly. 5% contribution, 8 crores of farmers directly. So this dairy sector is also playing a major role in the growth of our country. We know that India is ranking at first in milk production and it is contributing 23% of global milk production. But milk production in the country has grown at the rate of 6.2% to reach this 2096.96 million tons in 2020-21 from this 146.31 million tons in 2015. So this growth also shows that as if we want to increase our national income, our GDP, our GVA, it is directly depends upon this dairy sector. Why? Because it is contributing 5% in national economy. This is a fact. Today, as per the economic survey in 2020 and 21, this is a provisional data. Per capita availability of milk is now 427 grams per day per person, and it can vary with the state. Vary with the state means UP has some different per capita availability of the milk as compared to West Bengal, as compared to Bihar. But it is a national average, and this is 427 gram per day. It is a national value, and it is the availability of the milk per day per person in our country. This is another data. You can say that in India, about 46% of the milk produced either is consumed at the available for sale to organized and unorganized player. In this, organized sector can be some government procedure, producer-owned institution like milk cooperatives and producer companies and private players. And under this unorganized or informal sector, it involves local milkmen, dudhiyas, and they are mostly found to be opportunistic. So we can say that if there is 100% milk production, 46% are consumed at the resource, and this 50% that is available, it is consumed by the organized and unorganized sector in our country. So this is the importance of the milk in our country. What about this eggs and meat production? According to data provided by this Food Agriculture Organization, its stats show that production data, it is a data which is compiled by this Food and Agriculture Organization in 2022. They have shown that India is third in egg production and eighth in meat production in the world. And the egg production in country has increased from this 78.48 billion in 2015 to 122 billion in 2020 and 21. This is the provisional data. And the per capita availability of egg is right now 91 eggs in 2021, 20 and 21. This is provisional also. And what about this meat production? Meat production has increased from this 6.69 million tons in 2014 and 15 to 8.80 million tons in 2020 and 21. So this is the stats which shows that in India, eggs and meat production are doing at a very vast level. Now what about this food security? If we will consider the case of this capita availability of the milk gram per day, meat per kg and eggs in number per annum, you will see that this graph is increasing. This is the milk availability of milk per gram milk gram availability of the milk in our country. This blue shows that the number of eggs, it has also increased. It was 62 in 2014 and 15. Right now it is 91. And this meat availability was 5.32 billion and it is 6.52 billion in 2020 and 21. It shows the growth, and again I am saying it is also ensuring your food security, right? Now, what is the social status? Actually, we will learn about this 23 20th livestock census in our country in a separate video. But you should have a basic idea that what is the social status and socio-economic condition of rural masses. There are about 303.76 million bovine cover, this cattle, buffalo, mithun and yak. This 74.26 million sheep, 148.8 million goats and 9.06 million pigs and about 851.81 million poultry are available in our country as per this 20th livestock census. So by seeing these data, you can say that these livestock sector contribute or giving us fodder, food security, employment generation and other allied sector. For example, you can say that if you are earning or if you have a cattle at your house, then what about you can have some cow dung also from your cow which is available at your house. So you can say that with the help of this cow dung, most of the rural people are earning some livelihood with the help of this cow dung. Why? Because it can also be used in the fertilizers or as a organic manure. It can also use some other purposes. So indirect uses or indirect benefit of this livestock census can be many. But we are talking about today with the facts and figures that what facts and figures are showing to us. And with these facts and figures, we are able to understand that how much contribution, how much benefit we are getting from this livestock census. What about this wool production? According to this 12th plan in 2020, 12 and 13, it was 46.05 million kg and it has increased to 48.14 million kg in 2014 and 15. But remember this point, it is declined to 36.93 million kg in 2021 and 22. Why? The wool production has shown a positive growth of 0.46% during the 2020 and 21. But this data shows that there was a reduction in the wool production in our country. The production of wool and the corresponding annual growth rate in terms of percent per year of the country is shown in the graph given below. So this is the graph. Sometimes it is gone up, then gone down, then up, then gone down. So there is a cycle. We can say that this was the golden time where the wool production was higher, but in 2021 and 20 and 21, with respect to this figure, it has been increased, but correspondingly from 2019 and 20, this value has increased. So we can say that it has showed a growth of 0.46%. Now, I was telling you that this livestock census was playing a greater role in employment generation in our country. So according to this periodic labor force survey, and it was conducted in July 2019 up to June 2020, the percentage of usually working person, that is the primary status and subsidy status, the difference is that if a person is working 360 days before the preceding of this survey, then this is known as the primary status, and the subsidiary status in the last year or in last 360 days, if any person has worked for 30 days and they have given 30 days in the earning or in a national income or in a contribution of GVA, then we can say that it is a subsidiary status. So in this employment generation, this periodic labor force survey has taken this PS and SS together. According to this periodic labor force survey, this is the person and percentage of usually working person, that is PS and SS, engaged during 2019 and 20 all India, it is 2.85% and 1.58%. 1.58% were involved in the mixed farming and these 2.85% were involved in the animal production. So it is in the terms of the percentage. So total workforce the 2.85% are of this total workforce are engaged in this animal production, and this 1.58% is engaged in mixed farming. So this is the importance of this sector, that it is taking care of this much percentage of our worker in our country. Now, women and animal husbandry and dairying sector, these three terms are very related. Why? Because you will see, when you will visit any village, then you will see that the peoples are rearing and they are taking care of the animals. They are keeping cow, goat, sheep and buffalo at their home. If you will see that cow, goat, buffalo and sheep, whatever they are you will find in rural area, the maximum care of this animal is done by the woman. Why? Because the person who belongs to a village or rural area, the man generally works in the field, but women generally take care of this animal at home. So this is the importance of this sector for the women. And if you will see, this animal husbandry and dairy sector provide 50% of direct and indirect employment to the women in the country, and which is the highest for any sector in the economy. So these are 2 or 3 points you are able to understand that what types of role played by the women in this sector, especially in rural areas. Animal husbandry sector, man and woman work hand in hand. They feed the animal. Milking of animal was mostly performed by the women, which I was telling with this example. However, role of the both men and women are complementary in the field of animal husbandry. They are working together, but major or role played by the women in this sector. If you will see, you have to remember the formation of this Amul. So women have been at the forefront of the dairy cooperative movement, which was initially carried out under the Operation Flood program, and also later under the Integrated Dairy Development program, which is implemented by the government. So major role played by the women in this dairy sector is not restricted to the rural area only. They are also playing their role in dairy cooperative movement and dairy cooperative sector. In the poultry sector, for example, if a person is living in this area, so the backyard area can be used for this poultry farming. This is done generally by the women. So this poultry sector, this rural backyard is an income supplementing scheme mostly implemented by the women, where priority in training are given to the women. Actually, this data I have taken from this Department of Animal and Husbandry. So he is talking about what is the role played by this Department of Animal and Husbandry, and you are also able to understand that what types of role a woman can play in this animal husbandry. So similarly, in the scheme for conservation breed, conservation of sheep, goat and small ruminants are oriented in such a way that women are being identified to take up such a scheme. So government, in a nutshell, we can say that government are framing this scheme, and they are framing training program according to the need of the women which are working in the rural area. So for this taking care of this 50% direct or indirect employment of the women, governments are playing a major role, and they are implementing various schemes, and they are saying that whatever schemes are given for this livestock sectors, 30% of that allocated funds should be towards women under the existing centrally sponsored and central sector schemes. I mean to say here is that if government is giving some 100% for scheme related to this livestock sector, out of this 100%, they are saying that this 30% should be used or should be allocated towards the women. So this was the importance of this sector, that it is taking care of women, especially in rural area in our country. So friends, it was all about the national, the role played by the this sector in our economy. Now we will come to the static part and some technical part we are going to discuss in upcoming slide. First we will discuss this animal husbandry methods in India. There are various methods which is used by our country or anywhere else, and we will discuss this method. Friends, why you are discussing this method? You can have some statement in your exam that what types of farming system is related to this statement. For example, he is saying that this system is related to the availability of the fodder and it will vary with the season, so variation of intake. This system is known as the extensive system. So try to learn this topic in this manner, in this way, that you should have question in your mind that what types of question you can face in your exam and what is the application. Second one is that you can have some subjective type questions from this section also. So he is not going to ask that what is the extensive farming. He can ask that what is the mixed farming, what is the implication of mixed farming in our country. So these types of questions you should have in your mind while you are studying this section of your syllabus. So let's start with this extensive method of husbandry in our country. Under this method, first of all, this method is not followed by in our country right now because this is obsolete. And what is the reason behind this? I will discuss you. First of all, there are some features of this method. It is the oldest method. It requires extensive land for this animal husbandry. Grazing, dry, house, night, etc. are required for this method. Under this, availability of fodder varies with the season. So variations in intake. Intake means what types of fodder you are offering to your cattle. It depends upon this feeding system also. But the major advantage of this system is that cost of feeding is nil and negligible in this system. Currently it is not followed. Why? Because it is mainly depends upon the grazing of the land, and you are seeing that there are much pressure in our agriculture system or in our agriculture field. Why? Because we are thinking to increase the higher production or per hectare availability of the crop from our field. So can you think that if there is a agriculture system is under pressure, so what about this grazing land? So these lands are also going to be decreased. That's why this system is also being to be obsolete. This is not following these days. There is a tremendous pressure on cultivable land. I have already told you. And under this, high yielding animals are not suitable. For example, if you have a Murrah bhais with you and you want to increase the production of milk from this buffalo, so with the help of this extensive system, you cannot increase the production of this Murrah buffalo. So this is not suitable for the high yielding animals. This semi-intensive system, under this system, you require few month grazing, right, and daily or everyday grazing. But what happens during the cropping season? For example, you have grown wheat at your field, so you are getting some fodder from this wheat after cultivation. You can use this feed to feed for your animal. But what about the other time when you are not growing feed at your field? What will happen? Other time they will let loose these animals and they will wander here and there, and they use some other part for feeding themselves. So this system is not very popular nowadays. But important point from this semi-intensive system is that feed of cost as compared to other system, that is less versus intensive system, and this identification heat and ailing animals is also is important part. Important thing, it is also not suitable for the high yielding animal. Examples can be the same, this Murrah bears. Intensive, under this total confinement to shade throughout the year and feed, you can say that you have proper arrangement, to feeding this element. We can say that the farm are the better example of this intensive animal husbandry method. Under this, but what are the disadvantages? It will restrict the movement, energy conservation, management essay easily, and the number of animals can be maintained under the direct supervision. Space requirement is less when compared with this extensive and semi-intensive system. You are tying your animal into this farm and into this restricted space, then there are some disadvantages of this system. What are the demerits? If you are tying your animal in this confined space, then what will happen? Overgrown hoof, their hoof will overgrown, the lack of exercise to the animal, there will be leg problem in the animal, there will be improperly maintained diseases. If there is outbreak of diseases, there are severe economic losses and high. For example, there is a foot and mouth diseases happened in this area, in this confined area of shed, then what will happen? This all the animal will be affected by this foot and mouth disease, and it will hamper the growth, and it will economically loss to the people which is using this system. So this is the loss of this intensive system. Under this mixed farming, remember this word, crop plus husbandry, both. You are at time you are growing crop at your field, and you are also doing husbandry at this field. So what will happen? Along with the crop husbandry, one or more component of livestock or poultry maintained. Mixed farming is the economical rearing of different types of livestock, poultry farming, along with the making use of the farm produce. How? When you are producing wheat, then whatever forage or fodder you are get from this feed can feed your animal. So this crop and husbandry combination, which is known as a mixed farming, can be very beneficial to the farmers. Under this, utilization of unconventional feed and fodder, which I have told you, and better utilization of the farm of produce. For example, this is your farm field. In this whole area you are growing crops, but in this small area or in this area you can use this area for animal husbandry also. Under this, one important point, the farmyard manure you can also put here. Why? Because whatever waste is coming from this livestock or animals, you can use this waste as a dung, for this gas, for slurry, for soil fertility. So this is a major benefit of this mixed farming, and it will also bring this constant income to the family throughout the year, and it will also increase indirectly the standard of living of the farmers. Why? Because it is giving some indirect income to the family. What are the drawbacks of this system? Under system, there is no planning, no scientific approach, no correlation between land availability and number of heads of animal maintained, and improper planning of overutilization of or underutilization. This is the main part. This is integrating farming system. Under this farming, the defect of mixed farming are overcome. These are the defects, and these defects are overcome under this integrated farming system by proper planning, monitoring and execution of work according to the size of the farm, farm resources and agroclimatic zone. How? For example, in an agroclimatic zone, they are growing rice. So whatever fodder are getting from this rice crop are suitable to what types of animal. For example, this fodder can be useful for goat. So first of all, this agroclimatic zone which is suitable to the production of the rice, and the whatever fodder is getting from this rice production is usual, can be used for this gur production. So these types of thinking keeps in mind while we decide this integrating farming system. So it is a better system as compared to this mixed farming system. Why? Because they are monitoring, executing and planning of this system according to the needs. Under this integrating farming system, livestock species or poultry enterprises are selected based on the availability of the feed and fodder, which I have told you. For example, wheat. So wheat is suitable for buffalo, we can say. So in this area, we will rear this buffalo with the crop production of this wheat in this area. So this is the system. It is depends upon the availability of the feed, fodder, water resources of the farm. So number of animals are maintained according to the availability of these resources. What about this specialized farm? Under the specialized farm, we can say that this is a goat farm, this is a sheep farm. Individual animals are reared in these types of specialized farm. So one of the characteristics of this specialized farm is that the sole income is derived from one species, that is cattle, buffalo, goat, pig or poultry. Feed mixtures are procured under this. Why? Because these are specialized farm. They are not done near the crop field or in the agriculture field or in a rural area. So the feeds are procured. Say in a urban area or in a big city, a person is maintaining this farm. So you can say that in this urban area, you are getting this food for your animal. So I will say no. Why? Because this feed mixture are procured outside from this urban area. Somehow we can say that this is procured from this rural area. Under this specialized farm, this fodder procured accomplished partly, and the location, actually this specialized farm is depends upon the location. Location depends upon the production of the fodder, availability of the land and the cost. For example, if you are purchasing a land in a very highly developed urban area, so the lands of the cost will be higher, and the transportation cost from this rural area, transportation cost of fodder from this rural area to this urban area will also be higher. So this cost will also play an important role in specialized farming. So we can say that if location is close to the town for this availability of the forage and fodder, then it will reduce the transportation cost and it will also increase the marketing of this product very easy. If you are doing this specialized farm in village, then the cost of land is cheap. Why? Because I have told you urban and rural area. Then investment of feed and fodder will also be reduced in this rural area. So there can be different types of cattle under this specialized farming, that is white, black, sheep, goat and poultry. What are the advantages? Advantages of this system is you are going to get this pure breed according to the breeding policy, and it will also income from the sale of the breeding bulls. Why? You have heard about this recently. A bull from Haryana was died, and the cost of selling of this bull was 40 crore. So you can also do these types of work in this specialized farm. Example can be a work bullock, that is Kangayam, and the sperm of this Kangayam bull is very important for the breeds of higher milk production or higher productivity. Under this grading, upgrading of local stock, how the production of market of milk, poor producer dispose, new stock purchase, Murra and local buffalo, you can say that. So in this area, specialized farm, you can purchase a special types of cattle for your feed. Features can be the sole income from livestock poultry, farm which neither produce feeder or fodder, fodder alone raised depending upon the availability of the land, and the location of farms is also varies. close to the urban area. In this, feeder and fodder are purchased, so its cost will increase. So under this area, production of feed and fodder will affect, production of cost and feeder will affect, quality of feed and fodder will assured, and the green fodder available throughout the season is the characteristics and feature of this specialized types of farm. Now we will see some common animal husbandry term. Under you can see that these are some details of the animal. Yes, for example, these are the details, that is cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats, pigs and horses. And there are some related terms to that. For example, the species, the cattle are known as the bovine, their buffaloes are known as the bovine and bovine, sheep are known as the ovine, caprine, swine and equine. Groups of animals, cattle are known as the herds, these are known as the sheep, known as the flock, goat known as the flock and band, drove and herd and stock or horse are known as a pack. Adult male and known as a bull, this is buffalo bull in case of buffalo, ram or tup, buck, boar and stallion, this is for the pigs and horse. Adult female, cow, she buffalo or buffalo cow, ewe, doe, sow or mare. Young male, bull calf, buffalo bull calf, ram, lamb or tup, buckling or male kid, boring, colt, hairfire calf, buffalo hereafter calf, calf, ewe lamb or gimmer lamb, goatling, gilt and filly. Young female, important, is very important. Sometimes you can have question on this, that young female of this buffalo can be known as this heifer calf, sheep is known as the ewe limb. So remember these terms. Newborn is known as the calf, buffalo calf, lamb, kid, piglet or pigling and the foal. And this act of parturition is known as the calving, lambing, kidding, farrowing and foaling. So now we will see the different terms related to this animal husbandries. So we will learn this term in a very fast manner because it is very short term. For example, the cattle is known as the numbers of cow species, that is known as the cow, bull, bullock, heifer and the calves. Cow, female of bovine is known as the cow, buffalo, a female of bovine, bull, an uncastrated sexually matured male of the cattle species. What is the castration? I will tell you later. Crossbreed, the animal produced by mating two different breeds of the same. For example, Murra and the other bears, say Haryani. So crossbreeding of these two buffaloes are known as the crossbreed. Heifer, a female of bovine species that has not yet calved. Calving, an act of parturition which bring new life to the dairy farm. How? A new calf is born and a new lactation begins for the female catting is known as the calving. Castration. It is the destruction and removal of the testicles of the male. It can be of various reasons. And why? Because sometimes we don't need some animals, so we castrate that animal. And what are the ages and the period? Young animals can be castrated within the period of 6 weeks to 6 months, and adults can be castrated when they require. Culling and breeding, it is a very important operation. For example, there is some animal. So out of some animal you don't require these animals. Why? Because they are ill, they have some disease, they are affecting your production, they are giving poor production. For example, they are not giving some milk. So killing of these animals is known as the culling and breeding. Heeding, it implies the good animal management and general supervision, including housing, care and maintenance of hygiene is known as the heeding. Very important term. Docking, removing the portion of the tail is known as the docking. Disbudding, arresting the horn growth generally between the age of 3 to 5 days after birth is known as the disbudding. Dishorning, a process by horns of animal are removed. This can be done with the help of chemical, mechanical, electrical or surgical method. Dehorning should be done when calves are 10 to 15 days old. For example, some animals have symbol that these types of animals can be known as the known with the help of their horn, like concrete. So this concrete horns serve as an important identification and mark of the breed. So these animals normally are not dehorned. And this chemical method can be used for dehorning are caustic potash, caustic soda, silver nitrate sticks are used for chemical budding. Shearing, the removal of wool from the body of the sheep. Animal breeding, it is a process of selective mating of animal with desirable genetic traits to maintain and enhance these traits in future generation. For example, this involves estimation of genetic value of individual or traits including growth rate, yield of product such as egg, milk or meat. So under this casting, it is defined as a, for example, I will tell you this term with the help of this, for example, this is your animal. Right. If you want to lay down this animal for various purposes like to performing chewing, branding and dehorning, to perform various surgical operations, to perform this dressing of wound if he have found any wound on his body. So this is, throwing is not a right word, laying down. So slowly laying down of the animal for their safety is known as the casting. Grooming is the careful brushing and combing of body hair and coat from scalp of animal. Milking is very well-known term, so I don't need to. Drying off. Drying off means if your animal is processing, it is a processing of making lacting, but your animal is pregnant. So this time, this drying off is known as when you are not milking your animal and you are drying it. For example, the cow dry is approximately of 60 days before its next coming. So it is pregnant and it is going to born a calf in next 60 days. So before next 60 days, your cow, you will not milk your cow, and this period or this process is known as the drying off. Steaming up, dry cows are fed in a nutritional proper manner. Why? Because she is pregnant and going to be give a calf in next 60 days. So it requires some nutritional value. So proper nutritional management of your cow in a dry period is known as the steaming up. Hoof trimming is a process of cutting and shaping the overgrown hoofs. Deworming, it is a very important process. Under this, removal of endoparasitics such as the roundworms, tapeworms and liver flukes are happened. Its schedules can be 3 days of age and 2 month interval up to 6 months of age. Friends, these are some important terms like house of animal, cattle and buffalo is known as a shed, byre and barn, sheep and goat, pen, pigs, sty, horse and stable. Sound produced by the animal, cattle and buffalo, bellowing, sheep and goat, bleating, pigs, grunting, horse, neighing. Groups of animal, cattle and buffalo, herd, I have already told you, sheep and goats, flock and band, pigs and drove, stock and herd, horse, pack. Now, we will see some important animal like, we will see some classification of the breeds of cattle in our country. We can classify animal in two types, that is indigenous and exotic. Indigenous breeds are further classified into these three groups known as the milch. Examples can be Sindhi, Sahiwal, Gir and Deoni. Dual example are Haryana, Ongol, Tharparkar and Kankaraj. Drought example can be Kangayam, Umblancheri, Arti, Amrit Mahal, Halikar, and some exotic species can also be classified into this Jersey, Holstein and Friesian. These are some important indigenous dairy breed in our country. These can be Gir. So I will tell you some important points about this indigenous breed. This breed is also known as Badavari, Desan, Gujarati, Kathiawari, Sorthi and Surati. It is originated from the Gir forest of the South Kathiawar in Gujarat, and it is also found in Maharashtra and Rajasthan region, which is adjacent to this Gujarat. Its basic color is white with dark red or chocolate brown patches on her body. Sometimes black or pure red also you can find. Its horns are peculiarly curved, giving a half moon appearance, and its milk range from 1200 to 800 kg per lactation period. This breed is known for its hardiness and disease resistance. As go by the word, this red Sindhi is from this red Karachi and Sindhi and Mahi. It is known as the red Karachi, Sindhi and Mahi. It is originated from the Karachi, Hyderabad, Pakistan, and region of undivided India is also reared in this region. Its color is red with shaded varying from dark red to light strips of white. Milk yield range can be 12 to 50 to 800 kg per lactation period, but its bullock despite lethargic and slow can use for the road and field work also. This Saiwal, it is originated in Montgomery region of undivided India. This breed is also known as the Lola, loose skin, and Lambi Bar and Montgomery Multani Teli. It is a best indigenous dairy breed. It is a best, remember this word. And this reddish dun or pale red color sometimes flash with the white patches on his body. It is heavy breed with symmetrical body having loss is skin. It gives this 1400 to 2500 kg per lactation period. This Rathi is from this Rajasthan, from this Bikaner, Jaisalmer and Ganganagar district. This breed is taken from this arid region from Rajasthan, and this belongs to this Rath tribe who were Muslim of the Rajput extraction, lead nomadic life. Generally, this is found in this Lunkaransar Tehsil of the Bikaner district, and it is also known as the Rathi tract. And if you talk about the color, usually they found in the brown and color with white patches all over the body. But animals have completely brown or black coat with white patches are also seen. Milk yield can be 1560, that is 1602 to 2810 per lactation period. There are some other dual purpose breed. Friends, you can remember that what are the dual purpose breed, because you have some question. For example, he will ask you that which of the following breed is also known as the milking and the draught. So first one is this Tharparkar breed, dual purpose milking and draught. Friend, it was originated in this Tharparkar district of Pakistan, undivided India, and they got this name from this Thar digest in Rajasthan. It is a dual purpose and disease resistant cattle breed. It is also known as the white Sindhi, grey Sindhi and Thari, and it is mainly found in Jodhpur, Bajmer, Jaisalmer, Rajasthan and Rann of Kutch region. They are medium size and compact, have lyre shaped horn body, color is white and light grey. Lactating period, milk can be between 1800 to 2600 kg of milk per lactation. Due to better heat tolerance and disease resistance, this breed was used for producing current size breed, a synthetic crossbreed at National Dairy Research Institute of India. This Haryana, it is known as the first class dual purpose breed. It is originated from Hisar and Hansi according to their place of, actually the name he got from this Hisar and Hansi region, and it is originated from this Rohtak, Hisar, Jind, Gurgaon district of Haryana also. It is also found in Punjab, UP and MP and Union Territory of Delhi. This produce more or less pure form in certain parts of Punjab and Rajasthan. The bullocks are powerful and work as an animal. Haryana cows are fair milk yield, yielding about this 600 to 800 kg of milk per lactation. So milk quality is not very high, but is a dual purpose and high resistance, so it can be used. These pure Haryana herds are maintained in several farms, the best and largest being at this Hari Ghata farm near Calcutta. Kankraj, it is also a dual purpose breed, and this is known as a Wadad, Vech, Wagadia, Talabda, Nagar, Bonai, and it takes its name from the geographical location of Kankraj, Taluka of Banaskantha district in Gujarat. It originates from the southeast region, Rann of Kutch of Gujarat, and adjoining Barmer and Jodhpur district of Rajasthan, mainly found in Gujarat. Their horns are lyre shaped, and this is peculiar character of the breed. Color of the animals vary from silver grey to iron grey or steel black. The gait of kankarij is peculiar called as a one packs. Kankarij is mean for fast, powerful draught cattle and useful in ploughing and carting also. So the cows are good milkers and yielding about this 1400 kg per lactation, and age at first calving is 36 to 40 months. It is a very important period. So calving interval is 15 to 16 months. So this is we can say that it is high yield variety and calving time and interval is more, so it can be used for milking purpose also. Angol. It is found in Nellore because of Nellore Taluka was present in the district of Andhra Pradesh. It is found in Nellore, Vizianagaram, Chittoor, Kurnool, Kadaf, Anantapur, Nalgonda, Mahbubnagar, Khammam district of Andhra Pradesh. It is a large muscular breed with well-developed hump, white or light glare in color. This Ongol cattle have a glossy white coat called Peda Katiru by the breeders. So Ongol cattle are large and heavy animals and they have a majestic gait. Its forehead is very broad between eyes and slightly prominent. Horns are short and stumpy, growing outward and backward from the outer angle of the pole, thick at the base. Many animals are suitable for heavy draught work and average milk yield is 1000 per kg per lactation period. Deoni is Dongra Patti Donagiri. Deoni is a mixture of Gir, Dangi and local cattle. And Vanera black face with white body, Balankia complete white, and Shivera are three strains of the Deoni cattle according to their color pattern. So this can be divided according to their color pattern. We can say that. They are very tolerant to disease and tropical climate, and its lactation period is 860 kg. There are some drought beach that is not dual, they are drought beach. The first one is this Halaikar. It is originated from the former princely state of the Mysore and it is present part of the Karnataka. It is found in Tumukur, Hassan and Mysore district. Color is grey and dark. It is compact, muscular and medium sized animal with prominent forehead and long horns and strong legs. It is best known for this drought capacity. Bullocks are strong, so they can be sprinted quick and steady in the field. So we can say that because of this quality, the normal draft uses of the breed is also used for cart racing. Once trained by a team of Halikar oxen can pull a loaded cart of oven rough roads. Right. This is Khilari and it is originated from this Bijapur district of Karnataka, Sholapur, Sitapur district of the Maharashtra. It is closely resembled to this previous breed, that is Halikar breed, and it is known for its drought endurance, and they are grey and white in color. They have narrow long horns turned forward in a peculiar fashion. The horns are generally black, sometimes pinkish. Bullocks are fast and powerful. This Amrit Mahal, it is one of the best known drought breed for India, originated in Hassan, Chikmagaluru and Chitradurga district of the Karnataka. So this Amrit Mahal belongs to Karnataka. The grey cattle, but their shades vary from almost white to near black. So whenever you are studying these types of animals, try to learn where they from originated, what types of color, what is the types of their hen and what types of milk they are giving, what is the milk they are producing in their lactation period. The muzzle, feet and tail are usually black, horns are long and sharp in black point. They are best suitable for the ploughing and transport. This Kangayam, it is also known as the Kongu and Kongadnath. It is found in Coimbatore, Erode, Namakkal, Karur and Dindigul district of the Tamil Nadu. Bulls are grey with dark color in hump and fore and hindquarter. The horns are spread apart nearly straight with a slight curve backwards. They are moderate in size and compact bodies. The bullocks are powerful draught animals and are economical to maintain. They are best suited for the ploughing and transport, resistant hardy conditions. Now we'll talk about some exotic dairy breeds. The Jersey, very important. Its origin is from Jersey Island of the UK. Smallest of the dairy type of the cattle. Dairy type cattle, it is smallest, very small. In India, this breed has acclimatized well and widely used in the crossbreeding with the indigenous crow. This typical color of Jersey's cattle is reddish fawn. This shade of forehead, compact and angular body is other characteristics of this cattle. Economical producer of milk of 4.5% fat, very important. And average milk yield is very high, 4,500 kg per lactation, very important cows. This Holstein Friesian, it is originated from the northern part of the Netherlands, especially in the province of the Friesland. It is the largest dairy breed in and ruggedly built in shape and possess large udder. Breed have typical marking of black and white that make them easily distinguishable. Lactation is 6,000 to 7,000 kg per lactation, very high. Browns is found in the Switzerland. Browns is breed. The breeds are rugged in nature and good milk production. 5,000 kg is the lactation, the kg per lactation period is the capacity. The current Swiss is an excellent crossbreed cattle obtained by the crossbreeding. This breed with Saival cattle of the India at NABARD Karnal. Red Dane, it is originated in Denmark. Lactation is 3,000 to 400. It has a heavy breed. Body color is Danish breed is red and reddish brown or even dark brown. So friends, this was all about the cattle. Now we will see some important terms related to this crossbreeding. So friends, before crossbreeding, I want to ask you that why we are not hiring this animal directly into our country. Why we are producing this crossbreed? There are two reasons. First of all, disease. The second one is the climate. If you will directly, without any crossbreeding, hire these types of cows or cattle in our country, then they will prone to this disease and climatic condition. So we use crossbreeding of this animal. Why? Because, for example, first of all, you will see the example. This Jersey is crossbreed with this Kangayam. This Jersey is with crossbreed with this Holstein. And this crossbreed will increase tolerance to this disease and climatic condition. What will happen? In this figure, you can say that a bull breed of 100%, a cow breed of 100% will give you the crossbreed progeny of 50% A and 50% B. In terms of blood, we can say that 62.5% of exotic blood and 37.5% of local blood will be the ideal condition for the higher production of this crossbreeding animal. Example, this current Swiss cattle breed has been developed at NABARD Karnal by crossing brown Swiss and Saival with rats in the jubos. So this is highly tolerant to this diseases and this climate, and he is adaptable to climatic condition of our country. What will happen? The frozen semen of this superior brown Swiss bull was imported from USA, and the average age at first calving of current Swiss was 30 to 34 months and 2 to 3 months less than that of the Saival West Indies. Average lactation period yield in 305 days, less about 3350 kg with best 305 day lactating male of 709 kg. So it is the effect of crossbreeding. Average yield is 4,500 to 6,500 with fat of 4.15% and SNF of 9.5%. This other breed is current Fry. The breed was developed by this NABARD Karnal by crossing Holstein and this Tharparkar. This current Fry cow calved for the first time at the age of 30 to 30 months and yield was this 4,300 kg in 305 days of lactation period. Peak yield meal was 46.5 kg in a day has been recorded with a best lactation milk of 8,333 kg in 305 days. It is very important, friends. Crossbreeding has increased this production and it is going to help in growth of our country. So friends, it was all from my side today. We will discuss the rest of the part of this content, that is indigenous buffalo, and we will try to cover this whole part in 1 second or maximum 3 parts. In 3 parts we will cover all this section. So till then, thank you and happy learning. पढ़ते रहिए, मेहनत करते रहिए.